Yes, so we're in Queen Elizabeth National Park in Uganda, Western Uganda, and currently we're standing at the Queen's Pavilion in Kikorongo in Uganda. In your background we have Lake Kikorongo, which is a crater lake, and far off we have Lake George. So I'm going to ask one of the local experts here to tell us what is really happened here. What history do we have here? Hello sir, how are you?
Fine, Patrick.
Thank you.
So as you said, we are at the Queen's Pavilion. This is a landmark where the late Queen Elizabeth II had a meeting with you. So like I was saying, Patrick, we are at the Queen's Pavilion, which is a monumental part of Queen Elizabeth, where the Queen Elizabeth II, the late Queen Elizabeth II, stood having a meeting with the three regional kings in this place. That is in 1959 when she visited Uganda. And after having the meeting, she took a game drive in the craters, because this region has many crater lakes.
Wow.
And when we go to that monument or that stone mark, we can see her movements from here up to one of the oldest lodges in Queen Elizabeth, where she had her meal, that is lunch. Then she had the boat cruise on Kazinga Channel. Kazinga Channel connects Lake Edward and Lake George. Then after the game drive, she flew back to Entebbe to catch her flight back to England. And that was after the death of his father, I think.
The king of England.
Yeah, so here this is the map showing the Queen's movements from Entebbe. She flew up to here. This is Kasenyi, where we had an airstrip then. Then she got in the vehicle, traveled. This landmark shows how she did a game drive. Through, this is the main road, and reached here, Korongo, the pavilion where we're standing, and had a game drive through the crater lakes.
Wow. Do you see how many crater lakes there is around?
The whole region is more than like 300 crater lakes in the region.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And she drove up to the Mwea. Mwea is a peninsula.
The Queen went up to Mwea Safari Lodge, which is a peninsula.
Of course, people know the peninsula. Peninsula is part of the mainland that extends to a lake or a water body, any water body, but is still connected to the mainland.
This one was extending to Lake Edward.
So there is only a peninsula normally has one way in, one way out. So after here, she did a boat cruise on the Kazinga Channel, connecting Lake Edward here up to Lake George. So when she reached at Katunguru, where the bridge is crossing the southern part and the northern part of Queen Elizabeth, that's where she got off the boat and drove back to Kasenyi airstrip and flew back to Entebbe, going back to England.
And this is the place where Queen Elizabeth received the news of the death of her father?
Yes.
Not Kenya?
Not in Kenya.
Okay.
She flew from here, going back to England to be enthroned as the Queen of England.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thanks so much for that amazing local history. As we say, this is Queen Elizabeth National Park. In the background, we have the Rwenzori mountain ranges, which is one of the longest in the world, with Margarita Peak being the third highest in the world after Everest and Kilimanjaro mountain. Yes, thank you. And it's been Patrick here at Queen Elizabeth National Park in Uganda, the Queen's Pavilion. So this is the pavilion where the Queen had the meeting with the three regional kings in Uganda, and it's called the Queen's Pavilion. I'll just show you the hut where the meeting took place between Queen Elizabeth and the kings in Uganda. It's a lovely hut and a very nice view, but a lovely chair you can see here, so you can imagine that the Queen sat in one of these chairs. She did chair the meeting. And look at the view, look at the beautiful view, amazing. And as well, this site, very lovely view of the area. Thank